Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Shea, and I'm here to show you how to use a same matter chart. Our objectives is to learn how to use a same matter chart to analyze characters. It's very simple. We have 4 steps. Read the passage in the context of the book, highlight unfamiliar words and phrases, and replace the synonyms or definitions, paraphrase the passage, and finally analyze the passage for significance and characterization. Okay, you are all familiar with this sheet right here. I added one more passage right here so we can all analyze it together. And this on page 2. So you should have page 2 ready and open. I have mine on my computer right here. All right, I'm going to read page 2 here, probably starting at and all the way down to, let's see here, 1,000 miles away. Okay, maybe even down here. Okay, and after boasting this way of my tolerance, I come to the admission that it has a limit. Conduct may be founded on the hard rock on the wet marshes, but after a certain point, I don't care what it's founded on. When I came back from the East last autumn, I felt that I wanted the world to be in uniform and at a sort of moral attention forever. I wanted no more riotous excursions with privileged glimpses into the human heart. All right, I'm going to highlight where we're focused on because this is the context in which this text is embedded. Okay? Um, it says here, he's boasted about his tolerance. If you remember from yesterday, the line that we analyzed on February 14th is that what's Nick like? He doesn't judge people, right? And he says he's tolerant. But he says that also has a limit. Why does it have a limit? Well, he says here, when I came back from the East last autumn, so he was with the Buchanans, with Jordan Baker, with Gatsby, that whole group in the East, because Nick is from the Midwest. He wanted the world to be uniform and at a sort of moral attention forever. This means that he's done with the city. He's done with trying to figure out how the city life works with their new morals and the flapper girls and the automobiles and all the money that they're rolling in. He's done with that. He wants to go back to the country life where morals is uniform and easy. I want to know more riotous excursions with the privileged glimpses into the human heart. And he's saying again that, because I'm so tolerant and I'm so reserved in judgment, I get all these privileged glimpses into the human heart, but I don't want that anymore because he sees the human heart and he thinks it's pretty ugly, right? And now we arrive at our sentence here, the one in the book. And so that means I'm going to turn my attention to this paragraph right here. And it says this. Only Gatsby, the man who gives his name to this book, was exempt from my reaction. Okay, stop right there. What reaction is he talking about? What reaction? Well, obviously, it's the reaction that we saw here, which is that he had a limit of, um, of his tolerance. He was sick of things. Nick was sick of things. There you go. I left a little comment right there. For you, you should leave comments on your paper. Gatsby, who represented everything for which I have an unaffected scorn. The personality is an unbroken series of successful gestures. Then there was something gorgeous about him, some heightened sensitivity to the promises of life, as if he were related to one of those intricate machines that register earthquake 10,000 miles away. Interesting passage, and it's about Gatsby. So notice how I put Gatsby here, and it's about his thoughts and desires. So let's read again. So Gatsby is exempt from his reaction. That is, he Gatsby isn't sick of Gatsby. He thinks Gatsby is all right. But then again, Gatsby represents everything for which he has an unaffected scorn. What does that mean? What does scorn mean? If you look it up, scorn simply means that it's a feeling or belief that something is worthless or despicable. So Gatsby represents, even though he exempts Gatsby from his reaction, yet at the same time, Gatsby represents everything that he dislikes. Scorn equals uh, feelings of dislike. Something. Interesting. Let's keep reading. If personality is an unbroken series of successful gestures, then there is something gorgeous about him, some heightened sensitivity about it to the promises of life. All right. The word that's going to trip you up is gestures. I would highlight that one. And what does gestures mean? I'm going to look into a quick search. The gesture is a movement or a part of the body. So it's a movement of the hand. Okay, that's not going to help us. But let's look at the second definition. An action performed to convey one's feelings or intentions. That might get us closer. So if personality is basically a giant performance or action to convey feeling, then Gatsby is what? He is gorgeous, right? Gestures means actions performed. And we'll find that Gatsby is really good at acting, right? He's really good at pretending to be someone that he's not. Let's keep reading. He also has some heightened sensitivity to the promises of life, as if he were related to one of those intricate machines that register earthquakes 10,000 miles away. I'm going to highlight that because that's a simile, and you should always note when they're making some sort of comparison. So what are they comparing him to? Gatsby equals a seismograph, right? He's something that's very sensitive. Okay, great. He's something very sensitive. So what is he sensitive to? The promises of life, destiny. Isn't he just like any other American? We are all very sensitive to our dreams, our promises, our feelings. Indeed, there's something sensitive about Gatsby, and Nick is trying to make a comment about this beautiful character that is Gatsby, who tragically tries to become something, makes his life a performance. Okay, I'm going to stop the video here. You can move on to the next video that's going to deal with the paraphrase part of the character analysis sheet.